Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the Apocalyptic Knitting podcast. I'm your host Naomi, and I'm coming to you on Sunday, the 4th of February, from a very windy Leeds in Yorkshire, where I live with my husband, my young son and my cat, who is currently can't decide whether she wants to be in, out. She keeps driving me bananas, wanting to go out and then coming back in 5 minutes later and then want to go back out again. So that's how this evening's going. Anyway, welcome to a brand new spanking month. It is February, and that means we have a new calendar month, and this is a calendar that my husband made for me for Christmas, all in relation to this lovely theme of this podcast, so knitting and all things endy worldy. So isn't that a fabulous illustration there? So reading out the poem: beneath the ash cloud's fiery flow, the knitter's needles dance and glow. Amidst the fury of earth's might, she crafts a calm within the night. With yarn in hand, she does not despair, for even as the mountains flare, her stitches hold the warmth of hope, a soft defiance against the slope. Lovely. And yes, she is knitting purple yarn, obvs. There you go. So that's this month's one done. How have you all been? Have you done anything exciting since I last spoke? Life's been a bit too exciting for me at the moment. Got lots of things going on, lots of just work's busy. My assignments started up again, so we're into module 3. So the first 2 modules were done together for one assignment, so that's just started up. I had the classroom days last week, and now I'm on the 4.5-5 week countdown till the next assignment's done in. So I'm just going to do a quick recording today, and then I'm going to say knuckle down through the week and get on with this. And I think once I've kind of at the point where I know what I'm doing, then we're okay. And I also get the results of the first one next week, which I'm a bit nervous about, because obviously I'm hoping that I've done enough to kind of get a score and to think, oh, do you know what, I'm on the right track. That is not going to be like, oh yeah, you failed, it was rubbish, and I'm like halfway through doing the next one. So yeah, no, I'll have a word with myself and stop being so pessimistic. I have a finished object to show you. I feel like at the moment everything that I've got in the needles just seems to be like there's an awful lot of pink. So I'm gonna see what I can do. So I have finished a pair of socks. So I think I showed these off last time. Just need to sew the ends in, that's standard. So the yarn that I use for the main body is from Gemma at Snuggly Stars Yarn on her 4-ply base, and it's really, I should have jotted down the colourway. I want to say something like Ice Queen. It was something very wintry about it, which I really, really liked. And then for the contrasts, I had matching toes. So the toes are a 5-gram mini from Cuddle Bums, and they're like a pink, like a very hot pink with rainbows in. And I had enough yarn for that. And then I wanted the heels, which was another 5-gram mini, was in like a soft lavender purple with some rainbows in as well, but it wasn't quite enough to do the second heel. So you can see I've just gone into a third 5 gram mini literally just for like the last row or two. So I'm thinking, I don't think the recipient will have a slightest inkling, but I thought, and those 5 gram minis, I think I looked at my stash, because I do have a spreadsheet which I kind of jot down the supplier, that's like my course talk, the indie dyer, who I bought it from, the weight, how much I've got left and all that kind of thing. But I also jot down the date that I purchased it, I think just for my own little targets or satisfaction, things like that. And these, I actually bought those little minis from Cuddlebums in 2015. That's almost 10 years. How is 2015 10 years? Oh, okay, 9 years. So it was really good to kind of use them, but I think because they were really tiny and they came in a little glass jar, which is just really cute, and I kind of left it on display a bit thinking, oh, I want to use them up, So they have become a thing. So there we go. So those done. I'm going down to see the recipient towards the end of the month, 20 something. So because I don't need to do it today, I'm leaving the ends to be sewn in another day, because that's how I am at the moment. So I have these little minis left. How cute are they? So I've got one, and that was the one that I'd just gone into a little bit. So I'm going to put those in. And that's that. I've got a few items, a few works in progress. We'll go on to that next. I'm kind of feeling a little bit like, not in a funk, but when you're almost like 3/4 of the way through a project, and that kind of helps you speed up and you get all excited because then you think of the next one you want to cast on. The ones that I've got on my needles at the moment are like a bit, they're not quite near the halfway point, and you kind of feel a little bit like wading through sand. I'm not getting them done as quick as I'd like to, but a lot of that is because I set aside time in the evening to do it when I'm watching TV or something, and I'll pick my phone up instead. And then that's like, half an hour black hole scrolling over something that was nothing, that I just picked my phone up to check a text or something. So I kind of want to put a bit of a do not disturb focus on myself, just to kind of so my plan for the next couple of weeks is I have to show you, I've got some books that I need to read, and I'm a bit neurospicy. I can't, if I'm reading, I have to do something at the same time, and obviously knitting's always a good one. So I've bought this amazing book stand, so then I can just place it in front of me, read what I'm needing to read, and it's a very dry subject as well. It's all bits of law and contracts and things like that, which I think reading a novel's different because it actually engrosses you and you actually want to read it, but when it's something that you have to learn, and especially if it's quite a dry subject, it's like, so I think there's a few books that I've got, and it's got quite a nice format. It's all different sections that are all split up, so it's not just like page and page and page. So I've set aside some projects that are a nice either stockinette round and round on a sock, or some garter stitch, just something really mindless to kind of help. I use the touch to kind of ground myself, to kind of focus on me. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So yeah, I've done some socks for me. This is from Attic Spin Dye. Yeah, Attic Spin Dye yarns. Lovely micro stripe of hot pink and black. Lovely. So I've done one, and then I didn't cast on the other one straight away, and look what happened, it sat for a good week or two. So I casted on the cuff for the next one, so that's a nice easy bit. I might even do the rib on that tonight to get to the stockinette bit ready for tomorrow night. So that's done there. This is in my little cute panda bag. As I mentioned before, I tend to keep socks for train knitting. Another pair of socks I've got, this is my homemade bag. Some camper vans, very cute. I'm making some socks for my brother, who is really knitworthy. As I say, he has them, they last years and years and years. Well, he wants them to last years and years, but sometimes his washing machine doesn't like to do that. But he's like a size 12. Why does he have such big feet? Just goes on. And every time you think you've done enough and you go, that must be it by now, don't have too long, you check the size and know you need to do another 4 inches or something stupid. So to make it a bit more interesting, and also I think for fitness that he needed, I've not done my usual fish lips kiss heel, I've done a heel flap and gusset style. Can you see this? Yeah, little line, increase line there. So this yarn is called Starling by West Yorkshire Spinners. Really liking it actually. So it's not the longest leg length, but I think it's sufficient. I also knew that because he's got such gigantic feet, I didn't want to do the leg too long in case somebody ran out of wool, and it was like more than 50 grams. So there's I'm actually using this one for pulling from the middle, and it's collapsing nicely. And so on this one, actually I think this is what I'm going to do tonight. I've got up to the heel flap bit, so I'm just doing those rows there. And I've actually I've not done the matching because I don't think it's hugely obvious. It doesn't matter with these type of stripes. If it's like a proper more repeated kind of or a more chunkier stripe, I like to be a bit pedantic and things like that, but this one, no, I think it's quite a subtle enough pattern really. On these needles I swapped them because I think I mentioned I was falling out of love on knitting these at first because the wool was like splicing when I was knitting it, and I didn't really like it. It just kept catching on the wall and I couldn't work out what was going on. And then one of the needle tips had like a slight splinter. I think these are Likey needles? Well, they're usually really good. I'm putting it down to just one of those things, and it might have been user error, where I've just kind of shoved them in my bag or something like that. So what I'd like to do if I can is to get this to the bit where you've actually turned the heel and you're working on your decreases along the foot, and then I'm going to keep that for my train knitting, I think. And then so we'll do that. I'm not catching the train tomorrow, I'm working from home tomorrow, So I probably won't be getting much, well obviously I won't get any community knitting done tomorrow. But that is okay, that is okay. It means that I don't have to get up as early and I can have a good sleep. Because to me it's psychological. If I know that I'm up stupid early, then I kind of get all like, oh my god, am I going to sleep in? I'm not going to wake up. But if I know that I can sleep until like 6:45 and that makes me happy, that I know that I'm going to get a good night's sleep and feel better, then I magically seem to get to sleep quicker, which is bananas. Well, it's not bananas, it's anxiety, isn't it? So that's those. So those are the 2 pairs of socks that I've got on my needles. My other whip, this is the one that's got the most priority because this is for a friend whose birthday is coming up. So this is like one which actually has a deadline, and this is a scarf that I've started. And I'm trying to not be too negative about it. I'm not a fan of knitting scarves because I kind of, once I get over the, oh this is a nice yarn and this is a nice pattern, because it's just the same and same and same, I kind of get a bit bored of it. So I'm trying to kind of say, right, just focus on it, even if it's just half an hour a day, just something. So I've got 4 balls of this, and it's the Sheepgrass Chunky Monkey Aran, and it's really quite soft, so I think it is an acrylic yarn, and I'm on the 2nd ball, so that's where I joined the 2nd ball, and as you can see it's nowhere near finished yet, and I was tempted thinking, oh she can have a cowl, I'm thinking no, don't be lazy, and it'll be really nice. So the pattern on this one is called the No Pearl Scarf by Pearl Soho, I believe. And I was knitting this pattern and I was thinking, I've done the whole sweater in this, I remembered. So it's like a bit of a, almost like a fisherman's river effect, so it's quite nice. And it's quite nice and thick, so I don't think I can take this on the train, it's not really a commuting knitting, but I'm gonna try and do an hour of it a day. So that is living in another one of my, that's a bit of an old bag now really. This is my little grey girl's bag. It's a bit vintage, as I like to call it. Well, I say vintage, but I had it a few years, 5 years maybe. So that's the wool that I'm using. Chunky Monkey. Absolutely did not buy it because I like the name. And this is just, yeah, the white colourway. And it has, so for a 100-gram ball, it's 116 meters, and it's knits up as Aran. If you're wondering, which kind of confused me because it's, the name is Chunky Monkey, so I thought, oh, is it chunky? But no, it's Aran weight. But you know, that's how it is. And the other, my last whip that I've got on. So I am making during not December 2023, but December 2022, advent calendar, which I got from Spectrum Fibre. I didn't quite know what to do with it for a little bit, and then I found, I'm in the middle of a row, there's quite a lot of pinks and corals in it. So I had a little think, I don't know if you can see that, is it better that way? I'm knitting the Quadrophenia blanket by Bryony at Bakery Bears. and it's basically you knit like 4 triangular quadrants. It's a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give too much away. And I've been a bit lazy. There is a little bit of an eyelet detail in between each stripe, which, although it looks lovely, I've decided not to do that. And I've not been doing a weighing to get to the end of the row and to make sure that you're changing colours at the end of the row. I've just been knitting until that mini runs out and then changing my colour, because I say this blanket's for me. I'm not too precious about it. And what I decided to do now, I got 12 20-gram minis, so not like the full 24. As I said, there was a lot of corals and pinks and a couple of purples, and what I decided to do was I'm putting my 4 quadrants into like a category of different similar colours. So like this one was like more the pinks and the corals, and I found a load of purples and blue, so that's going to be another one. I've got ones that are like more pastel-y, so I'm doing that one. So I've come up to, and I've gone a bit further than the pattern calls for as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on my 7th mini, and they're all, I've gone, I think the pattern called for, that would be 5 or 6 minis, and I've kind of gone for 7 because I thought it makes it a bit bigger. That's fine. And I knew that coming up to the 7th one, that was when I go on to the next one after I cast it on, I'm gonna cast it off, and I just know that I'm just gonna end up leaving it unless I wind the next 7 minis up ready. So, and let me have a cup of tea. Polar bear mug. Oh, hang on, wrong way. Still in Christmas mode. So I've not quite finished that skein left, and if anyone else has got the same issue as me, I've got a Swift and winder, and I used to have a lovely table that would fit on, and then we moved house and some furniture got kind of upgraded or didn't fit in a room or what have you. So the only room in the house that it can clip onto is my son's desk, and obviously that's like his room, his den. And so I thought, we went to stay with with my husband's parents at the weekend. I was like, they have a little side table. You know, like one of those little tables that if you're doing like a jigsaw on, or if you want a cheeky TV dinner and put a tray on, it's that. And I thought, that's nice, a nice thin ledge. So I thought, so I brought my Swift and winder and did some winding up, because I thought if I've got the next 7 minis out. I also took a photo when they were in the skeins of what order I wanted them to be in. Took a picture. So they're all wound up now. They're obviously all mixed up, but I should be able to kind of look at my picture and roughly work out which one it is. So that is what I did. Is this the right bag? So, as I say, and some of them, I mean, I kept the first quadrant in the order that it came in the advent calendar. But then for the second one, I don't think they're all Spectrum. I think there's some Spectrum and some other stash that I had in. But I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to use them. So I got a hot pink there. with some little flecks in. Then I've got, this one's got a bit more of a purpley twinge with some green and blue flecks in. And this one's not Spectrum. I think this one, can't even tell you. I know the Spectrums because they're on a high twist base, and that is my favourite base. Another mini one here, couldn't tell you what that is. I should have noted it down. Actually, some of them I might have got some bits and pieces from a D-stash. But these ones are actually singles, and these were in, I know the die on this one, those are from Easy Knitter, and I got a 5x20 pack of minis at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival before, it was the last one before the world went bonkers. I think it was 2019, so that's quite a nice stash down to get through, and I feel like I've got the right. I was originally going to get it because I thought, oh, they'd be nice as a gradient on a yoke, but then I find with single ply merinos that they pill quite easier than, you know, for jumpers. So I thought, but I thought for a blanket it don't bother to me if blankets get a little bit fuzzy, a little bit bobbly, because blankets. So that's me 7. And then I also, I say it's all about the pinks, I got these ones here, some beautiful skeins. I got 2 from, they look very tatty, these. It's fine. These are called Serene. It's Serene or Celine? It's Celine. Selene. Yeah. And I am holding that together with this other pale pink, and this is like a fuzz. This is the James Brett Shush double knit, and I'm holding these two together to make a love note. So this is what I got on Boxing, was it Boxing Day or the day after Boxing Day? 27th, I think I went at Black Sheep Wools with my friend Sammy, and I wanted some mohair type of base to go with this, and I thought that'll go really nicely. It's a nice pale pink. So, and the recipient who the jumper's for, very fittingly, is expecting a baby, and we went to a gender reveal party yesterday, and yeah, she's having a little girl. So it was like, I felt like I was bringing all the pink vibes, because yeah, she's really happy, so that was really lovely. So I'm not casting that on yet. I kind of want to get these socks out of the way, the scarf, and then I think I'll be ready for a garment to be done then. And love notes, they take like something stupid like a week. Really fast. It's on really quite large needles, and it knits up really fast, so I really like that about it. Another project I've got in the pipeline. So again, everything's just pink at the minute. Here, I don't know if you can see, I've got all these odds and ends from when I did a litmus cowl, and I did this litmus cowl for my husband's cousin's mum, who incidentally is turned 80 yesterday or today, so happy birthday, Jenny. And her daughter loved it, the cousin, and she says, oh, if you ever fancy making me one of those, you know, don't mind. So I've got, all these were leftovers from that, so I thought, I think I've got enough to make another one. And I'm just sick of having lots and lots of bits at the minute, lots of tiny bits of wool. so I'm going to be really happy using all these other bits. I think that's why I wanted to use, you know, my quadrophenia blanket. I think that's why I wanted to kind of knit them until they'd finished rather than just have lots of little bits, because I'd end up probably just chucking them in the bin anyway if they're too tiny and fiddly. So that's coming up in the pipeline. That'll probably end up being another commute knitting, because it's almost like knitting a great big sock really, isn't it? One thing I might change is I wasn't keen on the needle. Now, it's because this one is actually a fixed needle, and it wasn't quite reaching all the way round, so I could just knit round and round and round. But then it wasn't quite the right, but if I'm doing a magic loop, it just kind of felt like I was tugging it a bit. And these needle sizes are, oh my god, I've got to that age where these are 3.5mm needles, so I'm sure I've got some tips somewhere and to put it on a separate longer cable needle or something. So I think I might do that, because it did grate on me a little bit. But other than that, the pattern itself is just so lovely. It's just so mindless, knit. It's really flexible on what stripes you want to do. If you want to do 10 rows, or if you want to do 10 for the colour, and then a different thickness of stripe for the main, whatever goes. So yeah, that's going to be another stash down project, and I like this bag. This was made by Lalbear, who doesn't die anymore. But she made these gorgeous bags, and I like this one because it's just really cheery. It's a sheep and colourful. So that's living in there, and so that's my immediate upcoming ones really. Stash enhancements, I have one very special one, and I've not bought it. This was a gift, a birthday gift from my lovely friend Tony, who hand-dyed this herself especially for me. Look at that. So she goes, oh, I know that you like reds and purples, and I thought that was just so beautiful. And she says, Naomi, you have to make yourself something with this. I was like, I will, I promise. She's don't be making other people's socks with it just because they like purple. This is for you. So I will. I don't know if I want to make socks or a hat or a cowl or because I've got my big coat is like a khaki green, and I notice like dark reds kind of go quite well with khaki green, and I've got like a dark red and green hat, and I thought, oh, I wonder if a cowl would kind of go with it. Maybe. I've also got for the spring, I've got like a waterproof jacket that I use, but that's kind of like a corally red. So I don't know if that would. Might go. I shall think. We shall see. We'll see what it wants to be. But no, thank you for that. That is lovely. And that is all knitting talk at the moment. That's all that I've got for you really. It's a budget talk, a quick 5 minutes. So as I say, I'm entering this 12-month quite tight budget plan for when we remortgage in December. So I'm 1 month down, and January is usually the toughest month, isn't it? When all the bills come in and all the happy Christmas joys out the way, and everyone's a bit meh, and you know, what's the usual thing that people want to do and to cheer themselves up is retail therapy or some kind of treat. And to be honest with you, I've surprised myself on how well I've done with my saving and budgeting in January. I think having that absolute, I think for me, I need that kind of structure, and to say, right, this week, this is what's happening, this is your money that you can put in your purse, and that's your, you know. I also had a bit of a clear out, because I was also doing that declutter, 100 items to declutter. I lost count, to be honest with you, of how many items I got rid of, either like sold, gifted, charity shop, bin or whatever. It's got to be 100 items. If not, it was like 70. It was a decent go. And so I sold some bits and pieces on Vinted. And so yeah, I managed to do my little overpayment on my mortgage. So it was like, ended up, I got a £5 free from Sprive. So Sprive is the app that I'm using. I'm not sponsored by them. But when I signed up, I got a free £5. So I used that and I put £25 of my money on, which, to be honest with you, I know it's not much money, and it's a £25, but it's a whole massive hundreds of thousands. But do you know what? I think with mortgage overpayments, from what I've been reading up on them, even that small amount can wipe off. I think mine calculated it that it was just £25 a month extra takes off something like 5 months off your mortgage term. Which, you know, is something, you know. I keep thinking, do you know what? 65-year-old Naomi's gonna be very happy. I don't know, what will I be? I think it's due when I'm 63, I think. Or 62. One of them. But you're thinking, I thought, you know, who's gonna know what's happening? I thought if those extra little payments, it all add up, and it was something ridiculous, like you would also save like £1,000 in interest for just that extra little bit. So very happy with that. I've also been budgeting for fun, make sure I have some money for socialising, and I've got a bit of a girly night out planned for next month, which was just paid today, and that's like a bit of a Greek themed night, so really happy about that. And yeah, what else have I done? Yeah, still remembering to do my cashback app on any of my online purchases, which tend to mainly be my Morrison's food shop. So yeah, and I like online food shopping because when I was going round my trolley, and especially if I'm hungry, all the chocolate, all the crisps, all the extra stuff just goes in your trolley, and then you get to the till and you're like, oh my god, how much? Whereas I think when you're doing it online, you get to see it going up, and you're thinking, actually that's not an offer, and do I actually need that? No, I don't. And you're a bit more mindful of what you're spending. So yeah, and there's somebody I've been following on Instagram. I think she's called the Broke Generation, and she's been talking about your wardrobe, and because she did like a 12 months of not buying any clothes. Sometimes I look at my wardrobe and I'm thinking, I don't know if I can do that, because I have about like half a dozen work outfits, so I kind of wear things to the death. But I think when I know that I've lost a little bit of weight recently, but I've got like a new set of, well, not a new set, I bought some new trousers. We're talking like 2 years ago, and then the next dress size down, and they're all brand new with labels on, but I'm not quite into that fit yet. but so I'm having some changes to my some medication coming up in the future, and I think I'm also being quite mindful of what diet that I have to kind of just help with certain side effects. So I'm not been drinking any alcohol and I'm walking more. So I'm hoping that I might end up being able to fit into those clothes. If I don't, I'm not bothered. I might end up just selling them on anyway. But yeah, just having a look at all the different tops that, because you know, if you're anything like me, you end up reaching for the same usual outfits because you like them. But then there's all these other items in your wardrobe, and it's all about just trying them on if you've not tried them on for it. And you remember, oh, actually, I do like that one, or oh, I don't wear that anymore because it's got this little, you know, there's a button missing. Well, get your button box and put the button on and repair it. Then that can be put into your wardrobe again, and all things like that. So, or if it doesn't quite fit it and you know that you're not going to wear it, then sell it or gift it on to a charity shop or what have you. So, or have a clothes swap party with some friends. I've been to one of those before. It was really good fun actually. And normally I don't find things like that fun because as I say, I'm over 6 foot, and who else is over 6 foot like me? Not many people. So yeah, but it's something, and it's good for the environment and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm telling myself 1 month down. I've got another 11 to go, but it's not felt too restrictive. I'm kind of enjoying the little wins, the little games that I'm playing and all this kind of thing. So yes, that's me. So I am going to call it a night now and get myself ready for tomorrow and enjoy a last little bit of chill time before Monday morning starts. Anyway, have a amazing week. I hope you are making some exciting projects or some relaxing ones that just bring you joy, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.